Example 5. For the function below, find the critical numbers, the open intervals where the function is increasing, and the open intervals where it is decreasing. So to find our critical values, that's where we do f prime of x equal to 0. So we take the derivative of this, and we get 2/3 times 3 to the x squared minus 4x minus 30. These 3's will reduce to leave us with 2x squared minus 4x minus 30. When I set this equal to 0, 2x squared minus 4x minus 30, this is a quadratic equation, and we can either factor it or use a quadratic formula. I'm going to factor out a factor of 2 to make this easier. And when I do that, this factor says x minus 5 and x plus 3. And so we have 3 factors, 2 equal to 0, x minus 5 equal to 0, and x plus 3 is equal to 0. Well, the first one, 2 equal to 0, is never possible. 2 is never equal to 0. But the second one is possible if x is 5, and the third one if x is negative 3. So my critical numbers are x is 5 and x is negative 3. These are the critical numbers. They're both in the domain of the original function because this function is a polynomial and it's never going to be undefined. I take my 2 critical numbers, I put them on a number line. Those are negative 3, it needs to go on the left, and 5 needs to go on the right. And I need to test points in these 3 intervals. I'm going to put my test points a little bit lower so they don't get so confusing and crowded on the number line. This first interval is from negative infinity to negative 3. Then our middle one is from negative 3 to 5, and then our right one is 5 to infinity. So test those in the derivative. And so I need to find a number to the left of negative 3, like negative 10. I usually pick numbers that are just easy for arithmetic. In the middle, I'll pick a 0. On the right, I'll pick a positive 10. So f prime of negative 10 is 2 times negative 10 squared minus 4 times 10 minus 30. And as long as you put that in your calculator with those parentheses, you can do it all in one operation. You don't have to do the steps that I'm doing here. That's a positive. So I'll put a positive here. That means it's increasing on that left interval. F prime of 0 be 2 times 0 squared minus 4 times 0 minus 30. Well, that's going to be negative 30. So within that second interval, it's going to be decreasing because the derivative is negative. And then f prime of positive 10 is going to be 2 times 10 squared minus 4 times 10 minus 30 is 200 minus 40 minus 30, 130. So it's positive. So it's positive on the right-hand side. So we can go back and we can answer where it's increasing or decreasing. So our critical numbers were negative 3 and 5. We just list them separately, put a comma between them. It's increasing. Remember, we had 2 places, on the left end and on the right end. So from negative infinity to negative 3, comma, from 5 to infinity. That's where the derivative was a positive. And that means that it's going to be decreasing from negative 3 to 5.